presents School is Now in Session.
Welcome to Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
It's time to document the journey. Welcome back to Homeschool Podcast. I'm Agostino Zoida. I'm the host of the Homeschool Podcast, just in case you're new. And it's great to have you back if you're returning. And if you are new, thanks for checking us out. Please hit subscribe. We know you got a lot of options out there for podcasts. So the fact that you're here, returning or new, it's unbelievable. Life is freaking amazing, man. When you go out and you do something and you start something, no matter how small or how big, if you start something, you're doing it. And if anybody, one person shows up to watch or appreciate or listen, it's amazing. It's unbelievable, okay? So that's the basic attitude that I'm bringing to this episode today. I'm here by myself. No co-host today, no guest. If you are new to this podcast, you won't know that I do that every now and then. I'll do an episode by myself, solo, and this is one of those. And I won't take too much of your time. And it's just when I have a topic or something I want to talk to you guys heart to heart on, okay? So, first of all, thank you for all the support now and over the years. And I would like to also bring my mic a little closer, make it a little louder. Also, I would like to please open this. I'm going to open this podcast, and I'm going to ask you guys to do whatever you can do to help support my podcast, Homeschool Podcast. We do our best, guys. We're not making a gold mine over here, you know. We get by. We're trying every day to grow. Everything's word of mouth. Everything's just by social media, who's hearing about us, friends helping me. If you guys want to help me out or help out the podcast, please pick up some merch or something. That's all. Whatever you can do. I know times are tough. T-shirt, a hoodie, that would be great. Even if it's just a sticker, you know, that would be great too. Whatever you can do, it's extremely helpful. And we have some really cool logos. What you're going to do is you're going to go to homeschooledpod.com, homeschooledpod.com, and click on merch, and you'll see the links there for apparel or accessories or my comedy album. That's another great way to support me. And under accessories, I mean, we got masks, we got neck gaiters, we've got mugs and stickers and baby onesies. Under apparel, we've got all the hoodies, the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, baseball tees. I'm wearing one of t-shirts right now. You'll see here I got this is our ex-president's design. It's me and my co-host Kevin Lyons wearing the Ronald Reagan and Nixon masks. It's a dope-ass logo, actually. It's one of my favorites. It's our first. It's original. And you can get it on anything, a t-shirt, whatever. Pick it up. And we also have our Document the Journey design, which is another one that I absolutely love. I literally have the sticker on my car. And it's just a great way to support you guys. I would really appreciate anything you can do. Plus, it just means a lot to us when, I go on social media and I see one of you guys tag me. And, somebody sent me the other day, they tagged me and their dog was wearing the Homeschool Podcast hoodie. And, it just makes me feel good that, like, every day, all the hard work that I'm putting in, that it's actually, not for nothing. It's I'm reaching people. I mean something to people, and it's important to me, and it's a really special feeling. And like I said, times are hard. So if you can't do any of that, at the very least, do me a favor. Just hit subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast if you listen to audio, or if you go on YouTube, just go on YouTube, hit subscribe, okay? Because I'm putting all the videos out there, and I was late to the game, the YouTube game, so. Slowly starting to build that up. And guys, I got a whole bunch of stuff on my plate. I got a lot of projects. It's better than not having any projects. And I'm taking a lot on, and I'm feeling motivated, and I'm feeling like accomplished, which is an excellent feeling. And I don't know if I'm trying to fill a void of not being able to do stand-up every single day like I used to be able to do. And or, I would at least do it like at least 3 to 4 times a week. I would be on stage, maybe more. I mean, that's like minimum. And now it's like nothing. Now it's like I get a gig every 3 months in another state. And I don't know if I'm trying to fill a void maybe by taking on so many other things. I need a creative outlet. And don't get me wrong, they're all things that I really, really love, and they're all things, and some of them are things that are new to me. And I will walk you through a couple of those things right now. First off, I love writing. I've only ever wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I will tell you guys that I've been told that I'm a good writer. I don't know if I'd say it about myself. And I was not told that I was a good writer because someone saw my writing work. I was told I was a good writer because people saw me do stand-up. And that's when I started to think that maybe I was, okay at writing. And, it was one of my favorite memories of all time, I think, is when the first time that... You guys hear that? It's like so windy here outside. That was like... It sounded like rain for a second. That was actually just leaves going by. It's really windy here. But anyway, one of my favorite memories is one of the first times that my good friend, mentor, great person who I consider family, Joey Diaz, took me on the road with him. And I can't remember if this was the time where he used to MC the show, I think, in Brea, and then he would bring his friends on to do sets, and he would MC it. I actually don't think it was that time. That was the first time I ever did a show with him, but he was MCing, so I don't even know if he was really watching me. I think it was the second time when he was starting to headline now. He was really blowing up, and I believe that we were in Ontario Improv, and at the time, I think that they were like remodeling the green room or something like that. The comics weren't hanging out in the green room. They were actually hanging out in a booth way in the back of the room. And this is right when Joey was blowing up. Joey, most of the time I'm knowing him, is selling out, huge rooms. But this is, I think, the only time where there actually was a booth available in the back of the room. And he was sitting back there, and the other comics were sitting back there. And after I performed, which I think was the first time he watched me do my whole set, and on the car ride home, he just said, you did a great job, and that was nice to hear. But he said, you're a good writer, and I knew that he meant it, not only because of the way that he said it, and but the following years he always asked me to help him with writing projects, which is super flattering. But I think that I have the makings of being a good creative writer. And I've worked, some of you guys know, some of my credits. I've gotten to work on some great TV shows, and as punching up a script, they've hired me for the day here and there, and that was a lot of fun. So I do have some experience with scripts. And when I was really, really young, I would write short stories, which I really liked doing, and I actually wrote long stories too. I wrote 2 books that were pretty much. Over 100 and something pages. And, in my mind, I think I wrote them to be a movie, but they were more written like books. I didn't really know how to write a script at the time. And I just enjoy it. I think that I do have what it takes to be a creative writer, and I just need the tools, and I just need, to dust off the dust of the pen or the typewriter or whatever. And so anyway, this is one of the things that I've taken on in my life recently, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm having a lot of fun. And I started by taking a couple of my short stories that I wrote, and I'm now converting them or adapting them to a script, and that's been really cool. And I've been taking online classes on how to write a script, even though I have experience with it, but I'm brushing it up, and I wanted to get better at it, and I want to really do it right, like a professional. And so that's a great practice is for me to take my short stories and convert them over to script, and I'm doing great. I'm doing great with it. And I've also told you guys that, by the way, we didn't really talk about sponsors yet today. I'm going to take this time, since I'm talking about online classes that I'm taking, to tell you about our proud sponsors, Masterclass. Please use the link in the description if you're interested in signing up for Masterclass, because you will support the podcast. So use that link in the description. And if you're on a website that doesn't allow you to click the link, you could find the link at homeschooledpod.com. Click on sponsors. All our sponsors are there, like Masterclass. You guys, I'm really liking the script writing class. I'm really liking the beginners acting. I haven't taken the beginners comedy. Listen, guys, I've been doing comedy like 12 years. I don't need to take that. And who knows, maybe one day I will. By the time I do comedy again, I might need a brush up lesson. But this is what I'm doing. I'm having fun with it, and I like it. The courses on there are great. The people teaching them really are. I'm finding it really helpful. Okay, so I mean, Masterclass has been one of our sponsors for a couple of years now, and it's probably my favorite sponsor because I just think that it helps so many people. Even before pandemic, like it was super, super helpful for people that couldn't get away from their family or day jobs to go pursue what they were actually passionate about. And it lets you take those classes and those courses in your home and on your schedule, and it's not expensive. Okay, so it's not a lot of excuses to give yourself anymore. So for that reason, I like it, and I'm telling you guys that I'm using it, and it's great. They have some holiday deals right now. Listen, guys, if you want to take a course, it's typically about $90 a course. If you want to take more than one course, it just makes more sense to buy the whole year, so you can get their access to their website for a whole year. So you have access to every single course available there, like unlimited streaming. Okay, so if you're gonna do more than one, just do that. It's $180, so it's like as if you're buying two. And then right now for the holidays, they have their buy a year, gift a year. So you're gonna get yourself one, and then you can gift it to somebody else, which I think is a fantastic gift. And I'm trying to think of who do I think needs that for the holidays. So click the link in the description for that deal right now. All right. So back to the show. The other thing which you guys have heard me talk about, if you've listened to the last few episodes, by the way, I'll take this minute to apologize because the last couple episodes we did talk about them. Like I hate to be too repetitive, and a bunch of episodes in a row we kind of talked about the same subject. But hey, at least it's not COVID, right? But you know what? It's something new, and it's exciting. The new year's coming, and who knows what's behind the fucking door number 2 in 2021. People are saying they can't wait for it. They can't wait for 2020 to be over. You guys don't know what's coming in 2021. You never know what's coming. You didn't know what was coming in 2020, 2019. You're not going to know in 2022. So just be prepared to be unprepared. Be prepared to be surprised. And no matter what, be doing what you want to be doing. And if things do come back, you hit the ground running, you guys. You're not spending your time trying to catch up. And let's say shit hits the fan. You don't know what's going to happen. At least you did what you wanted to do. At least you're pursuing something. You're not going to sit there and go like, your whole life you wanted to get into this, and you didn't even try because you were busy with day jobs and stuff. And now that you don't have a day job, the world can end, you guys. Do it something. Put it back in the universe. Artistically spreading art is putting something positive or interesting into the universe. And if it's not art, whatever it is that you guys are into, if you're putting good or you're putting love, or you're making somebody think for a second or remember something cool, it's just putting it out there in the universe before who knows what happens. So I just want to stress that when things are exciting, I've always been like I don't want to use the term go-getter, but I've always been like a get up and go, where I know a lot of people they have an idea, or they'll go like, hey, we should go on a trip, hey, we should all go away for the weekend and book a cabin. Everybody will go, yeah, and then no one will do it. I've always been the opposite of that. I've always been like, I had an idea or we talk about something and I get really excited and I want to go like let's start making it happen. That's just the way that I am. So I apologize if the last couple episodes I'm harping on this here of this pact I've made with myself. And if you're unfamiliar, I'll harp on it again. But briefly, I made a pact with myself that I'm going to become good at acting. Okay. And it's, again, I'm not trying to become a famous actor. I'm not trying to use it for a source of income. Although, who knows how long stand-up's going to take to come back. So it might be a good idea to have something else that, artistically I'm good at. And so now I've got these creative and artistic outlets, hopefully, filling the void of stand-up, which nothing can really do, but at least I'm doing something. And I'm trying to fill this big gap of a void by loading a bunch of stuff into it. So now I've got a lot on my plate, but it's great. It's great. I've got the writing now, the script writing, learning how to be better at it, and the acting class, for beginners, and this idea that I have for a new podcast, which will possibly be on Patreon, which I've talked about the last several episodes, of a table read podcast, and where I'll get together a bunch of comedians and friends that I've met throughout the years in the industry and actors, and so here's the format of the idea of my show. It's a table read. I don't really have the official title yet, so it'll be a table read, and every episode we will read the script of a sitcom. Just one episode. I'm not going to read the whole season of that. And so for example, episode 1 will be another episode. Episode 2 will be a completely different show, an episode from a different show, and and so on. So that's what it's going to be. And we're just getting a bunch of like comics and friends together, and we're gonna, I'm gonna cast whoever I think should read for that role, and that's the idea here, you guys. And I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I'm a little scared about it. I'm a little nervous because it's taking on a big task, and once I start something, I have to follow through with it. And so what I'm saying I'm going to do is I'm going to film one season. So I will have approximately 8 episodes, more or less, and ready to go. So when I do release the actual podcast, I will already have like 8 filmed, ready to release for you, so I don't fall behind. And we will see the reaction, how people receive it, if people like it, if people are watching it, and we will decide if we're going to do the next season, more episodes. And at the very least, to tell you guys the truth, I think it's going to be a fun experience. And if you don't watch it, you don't watch it. It's going to be a fun experience, and it'll be interesting for me, and it's great practice, just like, when I did those stand-up sessions, I called it Welcome to Purgatory, where I would stand in front of the camera and just perform a new idea, a joke premise to the camera, and which really trained me for when I had to do a comedy show virtually. It gave me, when I actually showed up to do the virtual comedy show, I was a little bit more rehearsed on performing not in front of a live audience and just looking at a camera. I think I got more confident because I did those first. So same thing here, where I think this is going to be great practice, not only to gauge my growth, to see if I'm growing as an actor, but it's also going to be a great practice and experience of how table reads go. Reading scripts with a bunch of other different groups of people. And, somebody said to me today that, that maybe it's not a great idea. Like, why would anybody go and watch you reenact, Fresh Prince, when we can just go right now on HBO and we can just watch Fresh Prince? Well, number one, I'm not going to be giving you the entire season of Fresh Prince. Like, if I do an episode, it's going to be one episode Fresh Prince. The next episode will be, Cheers or whatever, or Seinfeld, whatever. So we're not giving you the whole show. Secondly, you're going to see one of your favorite shows of all time, one of your favorite episodes from one of your favorite shows, you're going to see a different version of it, and what these people might bring to the character. How they might do it differently. It might be entertaining. And thirdly, if you don't watch it, I don't give a fuck. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Because, like I said, it's experience for me, it's practice for me, and at the very least, no one watches it. I got to sit there and reenact some of my favorite shows with some of my friends, some of the people that I have the most fun with working with, and I haven't got to work with them in almost a year now. So, it's a win-win situation. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that I kept talking about this idea for the show. Now, some people might say that I should not share these ideas because people can take my idea. Now, sometimes that's true. Hell, maybe most of the time it's true. I'm not going to tell you guys, go ahead, who cares? And, somebody takes your idea for a movie or a great show or something and goes and runs with it. I've seen it happen. Okay, I've seen like writers sit in the back of comedy clubs, hiding, watching stand-up comedy, getting ideas for episodes, and then later on you would see your joke turned into a whole episode on a sitcom. I've seen it, guys. Okay, so that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that certain things, by the way, so it's certain things that if it got stolen, I wouldn't care. But what I do is I actually like telling people these things because it holds me accountable to do it. How many times did you, say something to somebody, you got all excited and you're like, hey, I'm going to, do this, start up this new podcast, or I'm going to film this movie, or I'm going to write this script. And then, what happens is that some people will come up to you later and they're going to go, hey, whatever happened with that thing? And then you're going to sit there and go like, I didn't do it. Or you're going to bullshit and you're going to go, yeah, we're still doing it. I just had a problem with this and we're going to, once we get that figured out, so one of the two. I like telling people, and again, it also depends on the people, if you can trust them, but I actually like telling people. And some people are not going to ask you. Some people, as soon as you told them, they're going to go, I know this guy, he never follows through with nothing. You got those people too. And probably they're right. I actually do like telling people my ideas because it holds me accountable. I know that they're going to come ask me about it. I know that people are going to follow up with it. They always do. And they know me. And it drives me nuts to say like I didn't do something or I started something and I didn't finish it. I get really mad at myself for things like that. So I like it. So again, I'm not telling you to give away, great ideas so someone can go steal it. It really depends. Like I said, I'm doing this more for me anyway. If someone stole it, I wouldn't really care. Now, I will tell you that since I've talked about it on my podcast a lot, people have stolen the idea already. Okay? Now listen, let's get something straight. It's a table read podcast. It's not that original of an idea anyway. Celebrities kind of started the trends at the beginning of lockdowns. They were doing it to keep people's spirits up. They did the table read of Ridgemont High, and a couple actors got reunions of a cast together and stuff like that. So it's not that of an original idea to begin with. It's what can you do with it. Let's face it, a lot of stand-up comedy topics have been talked about already. Relationships, politics, gun control, your father, your mother, family stuff. A lot of topics have been done already. It's what are you going to do with it that's going to reach someone's soul, that's going to stand out. A lot of people think like stand-up comedy, I'm the funniest. Listen, being talented and funny is a huge part of it. But people don't realize one of the biggest parts of everything, especially entertainment-wise, is being remembered. Being remembered are the people that go to the top. You can be the funniest guy because maybe you talked about your wife and your kids, but maybe it wasn't anything that memorable. And you got laughs and you killed, but then when they go home, they're thinking about the other guy who not only was original, with topics that have been done to death. But he found a way to reach you and suck you in on a personal level to that next week he sees something and it reminds him of the joke you told. Okay? So with this idea for this table read podcast that I'm talking to you guys about is, like I said, not that original of an idea. It's what you do with it. Whatever idea you have that I'm telling you guys this to encourage you to go out and do it, finally, and don't procrastinate anymore. The reason I'm saying all this to you is that, by the way, but it's how you're going to do it. You're going to do it wholeheartedly. Maybe somebody else, maybe there's 1,000 people doing it right now. Maybe there's 100 table read podcasts out there. You know, I don't think so. I mean, I looked it up, and I only found like 2 that haven't even posted anything since April. And that's what I'm saying. There's going to be people that will half-ass it. There's going to be people that will, you know, not keep up with it. There will be, you know, different versions of it. There'll be hacky versions of it. Keep it original. Reach people's hearts. It's what you're going to do with it. Guys, I've been talking about this on this podcast. A couple of people that I know have already reached out to me and said, do I want to do their table read podcast? And they're not really starting table read podcasts. They're just going to do a table read on their podcast. Or maybe they are starting a table read podcast. And then a couple of people have said to me, I was like, oh, hey, you know, I had a similar idea. And they go, yeah, I heard it on your podcast. That's where I got the idea. And I ain't even mad at them. I'll go, yeah, I'll do your table read. So, I mean, I need to practice. Like I said, I'm doing it for me anyway. And I don't care. You know, there's a saying which I picked up in the stand-up comedy world. And I think I heard a rumor that Jay Leno said it. I don't know. My memory could be failing me. I don't remember exactly where I heard it from, but I think someone told me that. But anyway, there's a saying in the stand-up comedy world, which you often say to somebody who always thinks someone's taking their ideas or stealing their material, okay? And there's a ton of guys like that. And don't get me wrong, there are people that steal material. It's not what I'm saying. But there are a lot of guys in the industry that you'll be friends with and you'll meet that they constantly think that everyone's stealing their material, or they're worried that someone's going to steal their stuff. And a saying that you would say to those people, then write a new joke. You go, oh, this guy's going to steal my joke. Then write a new joke. And that's the saying. Write a new one. Oh, that guy stole my idea. Come up with a new idea. If your idea or joke or whatever it is, if your idea was so great and original that someone would steal it from you, that must mean that you are capable of coming up with original, great ideas. Hell, you're probably an original, great idea machine in that case. So you're probably going to pump out tons of ideas like that. And the people that steal them, they don't have original ideas. That's why they got to steal them. So if you're so good at pumping out great ideas, you're going to pump out another one. Not only that, the person that's going to take your idea, they're not even going to do it good. They're not going to do it as well as you. They're not going to put a heart behind it, because you don't put a heart behind something that you didn't take, that you didn't write. You're not going to put a heart behind something that you didn't create yourself. You put a heart behind your creation, your monster that you created. Okay? So that's what I said. You want to do it, guys, go ahead and do it. You're not going to be like mine. And I'm putting my heart into it. You can put your heart into it too, but it still isn't going to be like mine. And my audience is not necessarily going to go and be your audience. I learned that from, I'll tell you where I've heard this, is from Jack Asadorian Sr., the father of, some of you guys may know the comedian Jack Jr., his father, and this guy is also the owner of the Haha Comedy Club. I learned from him, from working with him for so many years. He used to say that somebody can come across the street from his business and open up a comedy club, and he says, I wouldn't care because they're not going to do what I'm doing, and they're not going to take my audience. And that saying always stuck with me. And I don't know if I think about it that often, but I will tell you that maybe it's instilled in me because I don't care what you do. You're not going to do it like I do it. Maybe you're going to do it better, but it's not going to be authentic. You might even do it better. You might even be more successful, but that's not going to affect me and how I do it. And I'm having fun over here. So that's the point I wanted to get across. And the biggest point that I want to get across that I hope that you're taking from this is that there's no time to waste. It's time to start your great idea, whatever it is. If it's so good, start it then already. What are you waiting for? The next virus? Start it. What are you waiting for? Death? More time? Less time? More money? There's no reason. Maybe one person's going to watch my new idea for my new show. Maybe one person's going to watch it. I don't care. I did it. I took something up here and I put it out in the universe. And now it's out there. And I watched something that I created come to life. And you look at it and you go, that's an accomplishment. And maybe somebody else is going to look at it and feel happy, or even two people. You made them laugh, put them in a good mood, inspired them to go do their thing. Even if your idea sucks, but you think it's good, it don't matter. You're doing it. And then the next idea after that is going to be even better than that idea. You're going to go look back at the first idea and go, man, what was I thinking? That was a stupid idea. This was the best one. This one's even better. And you're going to go do that. Except that this time, you're not going to take so long to start it because you now actually saw how easy it was when you did the first one. Instead of procrastinating and putting it off for so many years, you actually see, you know what, I did it. The second one, you're going to do it like that. And it's probably going to be better. So start now. Don't wait. You're always going to grow. You're always going to get better. So the longer you're waiting to start, the longer it's going to take to get up there and get up there. Okay, you guys? So that's about all I wanted to talk to you guys about. And listen, that's what we do here. We document the journey. Okay, you guys? Listen to me for one more second of your time. I don't say this to bark or preach at you guys. I don't say this because I think I'm so much better than you and I am someone who should motivate you. Not at all. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm struggling for, whatever views or likes or downloads, just like you. I'm saying this is because I've already experienced it and I'm sharing with you my experience. And that's what we do here at Homeschooled Podcast. That's why we are Homeschooled Podcast. We document the journey, okay? We are here to document the journey. We're not here to tell you like how famous we are and we get, hey, here's my podcast. It gets 1 billion downloads and I'm so famous. That's not what we're here about, okay? Obviously. I'm not here to tell you how great my podcast is doing and getting numbers and stuff like that. I'm here to tell you about the experience I'm having on the struggle to that. I'm here documenting the journey on the way to the goal. Anybody can get to the goal and then do a podcast and talk about how they got to the goal and it's going to be great because you've already reached your goal. You got all this light and eyes on you. We're here to document the journey to that goal. That's what we do here at Homeschool Podcast. So I'm not yelling at you. I'm not barking at you. I'm not saying, you should listen to me and I should inspire all of you. That's not it. I'm with you guys. We're in this together. I'm in the same boat as you. And I know what it's like to procrastinate. I know what it's like to put something off. I know what it's like to wait and never do it. And never get done. And you get mad at yourself. I didn't even do that still. And then I also know what it's like to finally do it and how good it feels. And to put your heart into something and to watch something that you created come to life. So it's time to start. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how it comes out. I don't care how many people liked it or shared it on Instagram. I don't care. You did it. And that's the point I want to get across to you guys today, all right? You guys are great. Have a fantastic weekend. I love you guys. Don't forget to click the link in the description for Masterclass. Please download my album. It's called The Bad Guy. The link is at the website homeschoolpod.com. Click on merch, homeschooledpod.com. Click on merch, and that's where you get a t-shirt or a sticker or something. Whatever you guys can do, we really appreciate it, all right? I want to give a big shout-out to my co-host, Kevin Lyons. Thank you so much. And I want to give a big thanks to all of you for tuning in and dealing with me yelling and shit, and dealing with me talking about sort of the same topics the last couple of episodes. So, but, you know, we keep trying our best. We're going to keep having great guests and great conversations in here and talking about a wide variety of things. And we look forward to you being a part of all of it, a part of documenting the journey. So don't forget to keep coming back here to Homeschool Podcast. And don't forget that only love can save the world. All right, I'm Agostino Zoida. Peace. School Podcast.
Homeschool.
The homeschool podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all.